Hello people of YouTube and welcome back. So, Happy New Year to everyone. Yeah, it's 2024. I can't believe we're actually that far into this century. That's crazy. Nearly quarter of the way through. I wonder if we can make it to the end. Who knows? Probably not, no doubt. But anyway, instead of morbid talk, let's talk pickups. So have I been doing some pickups? So no, I've not done any pickups so far in 2024. Actually, that's a lie. I always do pickups, don't I? So, but not as many as I normally do. But yeah, I've got a load of stuff that I've been picking up over the last 2 months. I think this is probably. It's actually not really a massive haul or anything. It's just it's just a lot of quality over quantity. I think there's about 10 games. 1, 2, 3. I'm not even counting. Let's count through when I do it. But it's a big pickup, I've got to say. So I'm gonna have a sip of my old drink, and well, let's go through it. So hopefully this actually records okay. I'm back on my phone because I didn't really enjoy the quality of my what's it called, webcam that I was using. Am I actually recording? I am recording, yeah. So I've got this really crazy setup at the moment of a mirror with my phone, but I actually can't see what's going on. I can just sort of see peripherals a little bit, so I don't know if I've chopped my head off or anything like that, so apologise if I have. I've not been able to use my mic. Not that it makes any difference. I sound like an idiot anyway, no matter what quality it is. So anyway, yes, pickups. What have I got? So yeah, there's a lot of retro remakes in this. I've got to say, a lot of stuff, or at least not remakes, but like something that's harkened to retro past. But yeah, I'll start off with something first, and it's an import. A lot of them are imports, but I think everything is very recognisable from it. Actually, it's probably about a 50-50 mix. Anyway, the first game, I'm so pleased to have got this, and it's Stray on the PS4. Big animal fan. I've got a collection of 3 cats, so this is right up my alleyway. I've been waiting for the PAL version to drop in price for ages, and then I found out there was a Japanese one coming out, a special edition Japanese one coming out, and I thought, do you know what, damn it, I need to get said special edition. And yeah, put it on pre-order. I think I had it on pre-order for like 6 months. It came out in like end of November, beginning of December maybe. And yeah, in that meantime, I have gone around and played it, and yeah, what a game it is. It didn't make my top 10, but it's still a great game. Yeah, it's basically almost like a walking sim, like you're like a cat going through a cyberpunk aesthetic surroundings. Everything's robots. There's no mankind anymore, I don't think. Can't remember. I might be wrong on that one, but yeah, robots inhabit the earth, and yeah, you've got to go around and do like puzzly things, and oh boy, this is a stunning game, I've got to say. It's just such an unusual game and so different to everything that you play normally. You can go around scratching everything, purring at everyone, having a bit of a kip. Everything that you would expect a cat to do, you can do in this game, and yeah, it rewards you for doing such things. But yeah, this is a cool little special edition. This cost me the same when I pre-ordered this. This cost me the same as just the standard copy was in the UK. However, since it arrived, it's gone down to like really cheap, and it's so cheap now. You've definitely got to pick it up. So what's in the special edition? Well, there's this like little plastic diorama is one of the things. I had to make that up. That'll be going up somewhere. And a nice little art book somewhere in this game. Yeah, and a music CD. So yeah, I'm buzzing for the price that I paid for this little special edition of a great game. It's definitely going to be one that's going to be cropping up on people's hidden gems list, I think, in the future, because still not a lot of people have been playing it. By the way, we're drinking Dr. Pepper, nothing too hard tonight, although I will be changing that shortly. Next up, a special limited run game, not a game from Limited Run, but a game that is limited. And I didn't get this from the manufacturer. I got this from eBay, and I got it for less than RRP. And I don't know if you can tell what this is. It's such a boring cover. I've got to say, it's not very good. It's from what's it called? Strictly, no, it's not. It's from Special Reserve Games. That's it. Who usually do really cool boxes. It's a shame they haven't kept it in line with the rest of the boxes. I mean, it's definitely a premium box, but it's just not the same because you can't tell what it is. It's really, you wouldn't know what this is when you saw it. This is a PS4 version of Shadow Warrior 3 after all that, yeah. So you can tell it's a limited number, so it's 1,430 of 2,500. And yeah, I've got the first two and I absolutely rave about them. I absolutely love them games. So I just sort of like purposely didn't order from these because when I ordered Shadowrun 2 from these, because they did a physical for that, it was $25. When this one came out, it was $45, and you got less gubbins with it. With the previous one, I got like a scroll, I got all sorts of cool stuff. And it was basically principle why I didn't order it. And in the meantime, I have actually beat this game on Game Pass. So that's why it's still sealed. I've not opened it. And I feel a bit disheartened that I'm kind of talking more about the packaging that it comes in. But it's just, I'm just really happy that I've got the trilogy again. I paid 35 quid for this. So I paid less than the RRP. Never mind the shipping it would have cost to have come over to the UK. So I'm buzzing about that. Yeah, I feel sorry for the seller because he's not even got around to playing it yet. So it was kind of a bit of a wasted purchase for him. I don't know why he sold it, but I don't know. But anyway, thank you. But yeah, great game. This is based on originally Shadow Warrior for the PC, which was sort of like one of the early Doom clones back in the day. That was almost like a run for money for Duke Nukem. It had the comedy, it had the humor, but it was very gross and like sort of like gory with it. And the remake of this, I can't remember what year it was, but it was early PS4. Absolutely blew me away. It was like the graphics were just stunning for me. He was going through like sort of fields of sort of bamboo and stuff like that, and it just looked really good. And this doesn't let up on the visuals, I've got to say. I would say this is probably my least favorite of the trilogy. However, saying that is sort of like it's still a fantastic game. I think for me it just didn't feel as sort of like, I don't know, the story base was a bit, I don't know, there's something a little bit off about the game. The second one is my favourite, followed by the first, and then this one. All so closely followed, and it's only failing because of such a high standard of games that came before it. So I say failing, it's not failing, it really isn't. It's a fantastic game. Everyone should play at least one Shadow Warrior game. Next up, we have got, it was sealed, but it's sort of not sealed now. Trek to Yomi, or Yomi. Yeah, this game was really intriguing me. I saw it, and then I think Mark Geordie Slasher was an early adopter of this game, and he picked it up and played it, and it was like, he said it was like up there with one of his favourite games or something. Like it was like a really fantastic game, sort of like a samurai hack and slash platformer. It's probably the best way to do it, describe it, all in black and white. So it's got a very stylistic sort of choice to visuals. Yeah, one that I didn't think I was going to get until it came down in price, and well, I suppose it did. I wasn't expecting I wasn't expecting to get the deluxe edition, but Amazon dropped this down to, I think it was like £15 or £16, and it was cheaper than the standard edition, which is very bizarre. So I was like, right, let's jump on this because I'm a sucker for special editions. I've got a row of them up there, so that'll go in nicely up there. Talking about special editions, I got this at the same time, and very similar circumstances. It's Getu Fidan. So this again, a fantastic looking special edition. I've obviously opened it. I can't actually remember opening this, but yeah, I think this was about 20 quid. I don't know why I'm opening it because I'm just going to damage it. But yeah, let's have it open like this. This box art is absolutely stunning. This is very, very sort of like my sort of visuals. and it carries over into the game. The game looks very much like this. What this game is, this is sort of, I don't know if it's a remake. I don't think it's a remake. I think it's a sequel to the original Getu Fidan on the not Super Famicom, normal Famicom, which is an early Konami game, which never came out over here. So it's sort of like, I've never actually played it, but I have heard a lot of good things about it, and I'm a little bit sort of gutted, even though this is such a really nice cover. I would have loved for them to have sort of like remade the sort of Japanese cover, because the Japanese one had what's it called, a lenticular cover. So you had like two different sort of like visuals if you did that on it. That is so cool. I love lenticular covers. There isn't enough lenticular covers in the world for me. But yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this one. This is definitely one that I'll be playing soon. Maybe a Nintendo month in February, actually. So yeah, you heard it here first. Nintendo month is coming. But yes, next up, another Switch game. Can you believe it? How many Switch? In fact, I've got quite a lot of Switch games here. I need to take a sip. I need to have a lie down. What am I doing? The reason why I've got all these Switch games are they are unique to the Switch. There is no PS4 versions, which is the reason why I've got them. Yeah, next up we've got another import, one that I pre-ordered, and it is Trigger Heart Escala, sort of teased in the background on the arcade. Unfortunately, it's gone onto a bit of a screensaver mode and reduce the power of the screen, so it doesn't look as quite as visually stunning as it does normally. But yeah, this is a great game. Recently picked this up on the PS2, just double checking that's the right way around it, isn't it? Yeah, recently picked this up on the PS2. Originally this was a Dreamcast game. Dreamcast coincided with the arcade, and yeah, such a great game. This is one of my favourite Dreamcast games, one that back then was only available on the Dreamcast. It later then got ported onto the PS2, which was then able to be played in tate mode, however you want to call it, which is the way to play it. And obviously this is just, I don't know if this is just a port of the Dreamcast or the arcade, or maybe a bit of both, don't really know. But yeah, this is such a beautiful game. Yeah, it's up there with one of my favourites from the era. Radigy is sort of like on the same sort of like level ish, but this sort of like excels on that one. What Radigy did, but better, I would say. Next up, we've got another shooter, and it is Devil Engine for the PS5. Bloody PS5 pick up now. We're going bloody modern. What's going on? So yeah, this game is one that I never thought would ever come out for any like physical console. I believe it's got a bit of Ming on the corner there. I don't know how that's happened. Probably cat sicked on it. Yeah, this came out digitally, and it was in digital world for ages, and so many people said very good things about this game. It was very highly spoken about in the shooter community. But yeah, I think there was a fallout with the publisher and the developers, and it was sort of like on a rocky road with if this would ever get a physical release. And a few years later, about 2 or 3 years later, it did. Yeah, I was so close to buying it digitally as well. So close to buying it, and then they announced it. This does come with a second game. I've not actually downloaded it yet, but yeah, what this is a horizontal shooter, and oh my god, this is fucking brutal. Devil Engine by name, Devil Engine by nature, really is. Yeah, it's got very unique sort of like shooting mechanics. Each ship plays completely different from each other. You've sort of got like shield sort of mechanics, sort of almost R-typey but not R-typey, and then you've got other ones that sort of like reflect bullets. Yeah, this is, even though you've got them like shields and everything like that, don't let it fucking fuel you, because this is just an onslaught of bullets coming towards you in not quite a Damaku bullet hell sort of style. In it's sort of very like basic, but the basic bullet hell style, which probably doesn't make much sense unless you play these kind of games. Yeah, somehow managed to get through this game with the allotted continues, which I think you get 3 continues. I mean, this game starts off and it starts you. Usually you start off on an easy mode. Nope, this starts off on, I think it's called expert mode or something stupid like that, like really hard, and you have to play that first to then unlock easy mode. And then easy mode is not easy mode. It is flipping treacherous. It really is. But I've got to say, I did enjoy my experience with this game. Unfortunately, as it being PS5, I can't play it on the arcade, which, come on guys, come on, keep releasing these PS4 games for us arcade lovers, so we don't have to go and buy a bloody stupid hunk of plastic which probably doesn't fit in there. Next up, let's have a sip. Let's slow down. So many bloody good games coming up. Next up, Escala for the Switch. Now, people probably spied that on the arcade over the last few months. But yeah, this finally came. I pre-ordered this ages and ages ago. And it's finally come. Again, unfortunately, another Switch game, but it's released by Super Deluxe, which make these absolutely fantastic, stunning boxes. These are my favourite releases from any manufacturer. I just love the metallic sort of embossedness of it, just the sort of size on it. They fit alongside PS4 games. Well, they do kind of. But yeah, they're just brilliant. They're just my kind of collectible, and but unfortunately they're all from Japan. I believe this is a subsidiary of Limited Run Games, which is why you get a lot of crossovers from Limited Run and these. There's a lot of games that have come out on both. But yeah, Escala 2, again, I picked this up recently on the Xbox 360. I picked up the original on PS2, and I am happy to report, yeah, I much prefer Escala 1. Again, being a cave game, it's not a bad game. It's really not a bad game. For me, I personally think this is in the lower tier of cave games. Again, being in the lower tier of a cave game is like still an A tier, isn't it, really? But yeah, I just can't gel with it as much as I can any of the other cave games. I'm not too sure why. I find it a lot harder than it makes out to be. A lot of people say that this was one of the Cave's attempts for making a 1cc game, one that's sort of accessible to people. But man oh man, it took me thousands of continues to get through this game. But again, such an enjoyable experience, especially now I've got my Switch on the arcade. It's just fantastic to play. So next up, another bit of Dr. Pepper. For some reason I had thought this was a Switch game, but I'm so glad it's not. I think it's because it had red on the bottom, but it's not. Yeah, it is Mr. Gimmick. This is such a novelty item, isn't it? So if you're not aware of Mr. Gimmick, this is a very rare sort of NES game that only came out in Japan and like PAL B territories, so we never got this in the UK. It's very limited run even in Europe and stuff, and because of that, it demands very much a high price. I played it on Everdrives and really liked it. It's by Sunsoft, which back in them days they were top of their game, I've got to say. But yeah, this is such a cool one. Again, this is by Super Deluxe. I had this on pre-order for ages. I'm not getting everything out. I was going to get everything out, but I'm not. But what you do get with this, which you didn't get with the standard release, is one of these cool Super Deluxe boxes. So this was inside here. I've not bought it secondary. But yeah, this is the PS4 version. And you get another one of the cool covers. It's very basic compared to a lot of the other covers on the Super Deluxe range, but again, it's fitting with the Super Famicom sort of like box art. There is an American one that came out of Limited Run that like does have the PAL sort of looking box art and everything like that, so you could go between. They even do the plush and everything like that. Again, I think this costs like 50 quid delivered, which you really can't go wrong at that for a load of hat that I don't know. Actually, I actually don't know where I'm going to put it. I've got no space left. But yeah, great release. I can't wait to play. It's a great game. I think it's a bit overkill to be releasing a single NES game onto a disc. Without actually, I don't think there is much improvements. I think it is literally just the emulator that you can do rewinds and everything like that. So you can probably actually beat it now. I've never beat this game. I think I found it too hard. But yeah, this could have. I think this could have been a really nice release as a double release with this in Euphoria. Or even just a Sunsoft pack. A Sunsoft pack would have been amazing. Although I guess that you wouldn't have had the nice little trinkets that you get here. But it just seems a bit overkill. I do love these releases, don't get me wrong. I sound really negative, don't I? I am not negative. Well, I am negative. But this would have been a lovely double pack with Euphoria or Sunsoft. Hear me out, people. Hear me out. Next up, right, we're getting even bigger now. So last two games as well, and again another re-release of an old game, and it is God, I'm gonna fucking say this wrong now. Dodonpachi Daioju reincarnation. I'm cheating because I'm looking at the spine. So I've had this up on my side for ages, and because I got this before Christmas, I just kept thinking this was an advent calendar. It just reminds me very much of an advent calendar size box. Such a weird box. And to be honest, when I ordered this, I was expecting a box like this. I didn't know it was going to come as big as this, and because it was expensive, but like a lot of shooters can be. It was like basically an RRP PS4 game, so it was like about 50 quid, which is a lot of money for me, to be honest, to pick up. But I guess when it came, it sort of like made up for it a little bit, I guess. So inside you've got like a huge art book, which is really cool. I'm damaging it. I'm not even doing it. I'm rubbish at this. I should really prepare. Oh, I've done it. Yeah, so it comes with a load of goodies in here. A load of goodies. So you have a little, I don't know, I think that's the guide. You've got a marquee, just like what I have on the top of the arcades there. I think this is a little bit too small to fit on there. And then you get this really nice art book, which has got a metallic front on it. Lots of text that I can't read. And basically, yeah, it tells you how to play the game. Like, it shows you some great artwork. Was it this? Maybe I was reading another one that shows you the artwork. It also comes with a soundtrack CD, which I find completely pointless. And then you get a nice little pin badge with a Dodonpachi B. Because if you played the game, you probably know that bees are very heavily that's sort of like the mascot of the game itself. You have to find the hidden bees, they're collectibles, and then of course you get the game, which is it in there? It is in there. I have played this, that's why it's open. So normally it comes with this cover, but it's a reversible cover, and I have put it with the original cover. So this is what it's like. Well, I say original, this is the PS2 version cover. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. Now, going from a bottom tier game to that game is just like night and day, for me at least anyway. That is absolutely fantastic. A lot harder than I remember playing it, because I can remember playing on the PS2, and like this version for some reason kicked my ass, but there is lots of different little modes and everything like that to go through. So that's probably why it was kicking my ass. I forgot to show this as well. This was a nice free little gift with Escala 2. A huge skinny poster, which I actually will utilise in my game room. I think I'm going to put it on the side of that cabinet there. Fantastic. This is like perfect for me, collecting catnip in it, really. So yeah. Last game. Can you think what it is? We're doing modern games here, and I got this in a sale. As that twigged, I think everyone's been talking about this sale, and it's the biggest pickup I've got, and it's Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 for the PS4. Yeah, I've got this. Obviously, the PS5 version is going to play a lot better. However, obviously, PS4 goes into my arcade cab, and if you're going to play Street Fighter 6, you've got to play it on a cab, haven't you? So I think this was like 60 quid for a big special edition. It comes with a couple of statues of characters that I don't know who they are, and I think that's the reason why this actually sold so poorly. I think it sold poorly anyway. But yeah, I think this was like 200 odd quid when it came out as a release. One of the highest, I think it was like the highest selling Street Fighter that's ever been. But I don't think this sold very well, so I can't remember, it was Shop 2 or something, did a massive sale, and yeah, I grabbed it because I really wanted to play Street Fighter, and I thought, you know, at that price, I've got something a bit more to show for, hasn't it? So yeah, this is the actual game itself. I've heard of people paying what I paid just for the steelbook itself, so nice-ish steelbook. To be honest, I like steelbooks with a little bit of texture or something a little bit special, but at least it's got a lovely slipcover to go over it to hide it. So yeah, it comes with the Ultimate Pass, which has been put in. And I think, did it come with 2 discs? No, it didn't. What have I got in my PS4 at the moment then? Because I thought this was in it. Obviously it wasn't. But yeah, I've completed 4 characters on this. I played through first Cammy, which I've got to say, they've ruined Cammy. Cammy was one of my favourite fighters. It's always girl fighters, isn't it? But she was a badass, I've got to say. I mean, she's British, for God's sake. But she's so dull in Street Fighter 6. Even her moves are dull. They just didn't feel the same as what they did on other things. Yes, the graphics are great and everything like that. But they just got no soul to them. They're just, everything is I think someone, I can't remember who it was, maybe Ross or someone said, like, basically, oh no, it might have been Pete Fighter. So basically, this is Street Fighter for the Fortnite generation, because it really is. It's just us old farts just don't like it. So I think you have a couple of characters that I played, the new characters. I'm going to complete all of the characters, and I went from the top to the bottom. Obviously, I played through as Ryu. Again, Ryu, I guess they've got to change him up a little bit, because maybe people are getting bored of his original look or something, because he's just a white character, a white tracksuit. But like, yeah, Ryu just looked weird in this. It just doesn't look like Ryu. I wouldn't, if you was to look at that and you know who Street Fighter, who would you say bloody Ryu was? It's that guy there, of course. No, it's not, of course, is it? It's just some random muscly dude. Just doesn't look cool. Yeah, this is what they've lost in the new generation. They're just overproducing things, and in the meantime, they're just losing the original creativeness that we used to have back in the day. And I could rant on about it for ages, but I'm not, because I'm feeling really negative in this video, because there's so many good games in this, and I feel bad. But yeah, like I say, this just makes me want to play Street Fighter 5. And I've not really played much Street Fighter 5. I didn't really like that one as much, but I feel like I prefer Street Fighter 5 to this. And do you know what? I'm going to play Street Fighter 3. I've not played any Street Fighter 3. I've got to say, I missed out on Street Fighter 3. Went straight to Street Fighter 4 years later, however long it was. But yeah, I need to go back and play Street Fighter 3. I think I've heard so many people say that's great. But yeah, this is just a dull experience to me. I mean, fighting-wise, it probably is. It's probably good. But for me, fighting games isn't so much about, like, the actual skills, what you can show. I mean, it is, but it's all about the visuals, the sound. I mean, Street Fighter created some of the most infamous sounds, music, and everything like that. And this is such a forgettable game, I've got to say. Someone tell me someone from Street Fighter 6 is new. Tell me, come on. You bet you can't. Anyway, yeah, that's the last game. Sorry, it was such a bit of a downer, but yeah, good. I'm pleased I've got it. I've got to say, I'm pleased I've got it. But yeah, right. Next up, we've got just a raft load of retro pickups. I've got. I've actually dipped back into Craig's box again, and somehow managed to find even more fantastic games. So that's probably 2 more videos, and then I'm probably going to slow down with pickups. I think I say that, but I need to. But yeah, New Year's resolution: collect more paving slabs and decking wood. That's what I'm going to be doing for going forward. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone's pickups this year. I think it's going to be a good year. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.